When someone tries taking something away from you, you see its value. And if people are trying to kill us and murder us for being Jewish, what does it mean to be Jewish? Basically the entire world, unless you're blatantly anti-Semitic, is a Zionist. You know what I mean? The people that we see, the crazy, the they, thems, the Israel's doing genocide people, these are the loudest people on the side, but it's not as bad as I think people think.
Welcome back to another episode of the Black and Jewish podcast. I have a special guest with me today. He's so special because he is a comedian. So we are going to laugh today. My special guest is Yechiel Jacobs. What's up, Yechiel?
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so happy to be here. No pressure, but I do expect to laugh on this episode.
That's a lot of pressure, but it's fine.
Yeah,
that's
and
totally
then
fine.
I kind of want you to rap at the end.
Okay, anything else? Laundry?
No, I have a maid. Like I can handle that.
You're good.
I just need some laughter in my life, some entertainment. Yeah. Okay, Yechiel. So you are the Jewish comedian.
I guess that's a big title. I'll take it. Amazing. There it is. I am the Jewish comedian. It's official.
So tell me about how you got into comedy.
So I was never a comedian before this. I've been a comedian for about like 4.5 minutes, like literally just started.
So this started after October 7th?
After October 7th, around a month after.
Okay.
Obviously, we saw all the crazy videos going around, and I was seeing these videos that were saying so much false information about Israel and all these like crazy anti-Semitic things. And it was really bothering me, and I wanted someone to respond, and I wasn't seeing anyone responding the way that I wanted to see it. So I'm like, you know what? I'll respond to it. And now at the time I was doing an impersonation of a comedian, Sebastian Maniscalco. He's an Italian comedian. He's the guy that talks like this character. From him. So I was doing that impersonation, and I would do it on like different situations. Like I purchased a Tesla. So I did like a funny situation, Sebastian buying a Tesla, Sebastian moves to Florida. And I was doing these things for my family and friends just as a joke. And I did like a good imitation of him. And then I saw these videos, so I figured, let me use this character that I've been doing to respond to these videos. And I didn't have an idea of becoming big or anything like that. I just did it for kind of like almost like comical relief, or just to like let off some steam, you know? Like, yeah. So I did it, and my first video just launched, and I did another one, and it also launched. And like 8 months later, I'm here, and now I'm a comedian. Like, you know?
Wow. Okay, so you just grew up probably just being the funny guy, but like for career-wise, you never thought like you wanted to be a comedian.
Yeah, I was never like, I'm going to be a comedian. I did like by my bar mitzvah, I did like a little stand-up set. Like, I always joked around. I always did like funny little bits, but it was never my goal to be a comedian. Like as a kid, I wanted to be on a Disney Channel. You know, as a kid.
And you have the face for it. So you could totally be a Disney child.
Like, only on Disney Channel, you know?
Yeah. Wait, so do you also want to act?
So now I'm going with the flow, in the sense of like, I'm saying yes to everything. Like,
okay. This is your year of yes.
Yes, exactly. Okay. It's a year of yes, just is taking advantage of whatever I can as far as the industry. Yeah. And yeah, like the comedy kind of just happened that an agent reached out to me, and they're like, you want to do a comedy show? I'm like, I've never done comedy in my life. They're like, you want to do it? I'm like, let's do it.
Wow.
And we did it. And then I headlined 2 shows in New York City at the New York Comedy Club, sold out. It was crazy. It was so exciting.
What I like about watching you and following you is like you give factual information, but in a comedic way. And so, like you said, you wanted to provide comedic relief. Yeah. And I feel like my channel and other people, like we were so serious with our fight for, after October 7th and fighting for the Jewish people online. And it just was like so serious. Like we were all feeling like drained. And then you pop up and we watch you, and it's like you're giving the actual facts, but it's so funny, and like we get to laugh for a little bit because.
So I think that's what helped it go so big, is because people, like everyone's doom scrolling. Like you're scrolling, it's like more depressing. And you're getting all this information. It's so heavy. And all of a sudden you scroll and this kid pops out. He's like, how you guys doing? Listen, this guy, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, and you're getting the information that you would get from these other videos that are heavy, but you're walking away with a smile. Yes. So it was like everyone wanted that, because you get the information that's going on out there, but at the same time, you're not depressed. Rather, you're walking away laughing, smiling, and you can have like a good day, you know? I think that's what helped it really get out there.
Tell me how you grew up. Where are you from? Where were you born? Who are your parents?
So
who is Yechiel Jacobs?
Who is? So I was born in Israel. Okay. I was born in Israel. I lived there until I was 4.5 years old. Okay. Then I moved to the 5 towns. Okay. Long Island, the 5 towns. And I lived there for most of my life, like 15 years. And about a year and a half ago, close to like 2 years ago, I moved to Florida. And I've been living in Florida ever since.
Do you like Florida better than New York?
So I like Florida. Like people say like the weather's good in Florida. Like,
no, it's cap. Like I've been here for like a month and a half and it's been raining.
Yeah, they don't tell you. Like they don't tell you that like Florida summertime, if you get out of your house during the summertime in Florida, you die.
Yeah.
Like, you will literally die. It is brutal.
It's horrible.
So
like I 100% rather be in Israel for the summer.
Yeah, no, summertime in Florida is intense. And there's like just hurricanes.
Yeah.
Like, just be hurricanes just like for a month. And then,
man, I got to get out of here. I didn't know like a hurricane for a month.
No, it's crazy. The weather is nuts. Like, have you had like the crazy rain yet?
Yeah, I've been here for the rain. But I haven't been here for a hurricane. And I'm from California.
It's fine. Don't worry. It's not that intense. I'm being dramatic.
And I'm from California, so we don't even know what a hurricane is.
You guys have never seen like bad weather in your life?
No. Like, come on. Like, we have sunshine and beaches all the time.
Right. So you're chilling. You're chilling.
Yeah. Talk to me about your relationship to Israel and Zionism. Do you consider yourself a Zionist? How did your family raise you in terms of what they taught you about the state of Israel?
Yeah, so do I consider myself a Zionist? I mean, Zionism is the simple belief that the Jewish people have a right to live in their ancestral homeland. And obviously, I think basically the entire world, unless you're blatantly anti-Semitic, is a Zionist. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely a Zionist in the sense of the definition. And my connection to Israel is obviously I was born there. I'm Jewish. I was brought up religious Jew. As far as the religion of Judaism is an extremely strong connection to Israel. My family, my great-grandparents and my great-great-grandparents were born in Old Jerusalem. So I have very strong roots to the actual land, which is very ironic when people are like, you're a white colonizer. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know 100% sure if I am, you know?
Yeah, you're like, my people are straight from Jerusalem.
Yeah, like straight up Old Jerusalem, like way, way back. So I have a very strong connection to the land. My sister, I have one older sister. She served in the IDF, like right after high school. She went straight to the IDF and she served in all her seminary? Yeah. Like everyone went to seminary. Yeah. So all her friends, but she went to the IDF, which was, for me, made me even more proud. I'm like, wow, like good for her. Like she's doing that. Like, so it made me even more passionate. And yeah, I've just always been very, very passionate about Israel.
Did you ever want to serve in the IDF? Did you think about it?
I had my moments where I was like, I would like to do that. But as growing up, I was very business minded. And I wanted to be like, if I go to the IDF, I have to be there for 3 years. And I want to already get started with work and want to get started with, my career. Right. So that's what kind of veered me away from it. But serving was always something that I was like, that would be amazing.
Talk to me about the type of hate you're receiving online because of your videos and being so outspoken for Israel.
Yeah. So there's definitely a lot of hate. A lot of hate. It's very, in the beginning it was intense because I didn't know how to deal with it. This is all very new to me. So I had no idea how to deal with all the hate and the threats and also like,
what type of hate messages do you get and what type of threats do you get?
You get the typical Hitler was right. That's a classic. Okay. Hitler was right. And you're getting all these, it's weird to see like GIFs of Hitler. Yeah. You're getting these GIFs of like Hitler. Like, I'm like, where are you getting these from? Like, how do you have these pictures? Right. So I got a lot in the beginning. In the beginning, it was very intense for me because it was like, I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't expecting this to happen. So I was like, wow, how do I respond to this? But I made the decision that if I'm doing this, like I'm doing it 100% and like just head down and do what you got to do. So I was so confident with what I'm doing was the right thing to do. So I just pushed forward and then eventually the more pro-Israel side discovered me. And now, thank God, there's so much love and so much support and the hate messages don't even affect. Like I just know, it's not like a real thing,
How do you handle dealing with the heaviness that all of us Jews are feeling just every day? Like even when a hostage is brought back, I remember when Noah was brought back and they rescued the 4 hostages. Yeah. I was here. I wasn't in Israel. And I just cried. It was, I didn't know until after Shabbat, but I just feel like we all have like this collective heaviness. Like anything that happens good, we all feel it collectively. Yeah. And anything that happens bad, we all feel it collectively. So how are you handling like the bad stuff? Like what does your day-to-day look like?
So as far as the bad stuff, it's comedy. That's the way, like I did it for myself. I originally started these videos for myself, not for a public eye. It was more just for me setting off steam. And when something really, really bothers me, that's when I get a really, really good video out. You know what I mean? Like some of my best videos, you'll see in my videos, I'm genuinely upset or I'm genuinely like frustrated, and I express it through comedy or through making fun or through, you know, exposing the stupidity, but I'll do it, and I'll do it through comedy. And after I finish a video, like I genuinely feel like I just had like a therapy session, you know?
Wow.
I feel like I just let it out and I express it. And then other people feel that as well. They have like comic relief through my videos. They'll see a video that really bothered them. They'll see me respond to it and be like, yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's what I, you know, like what I was
That's
thinking.
what I wanted to say.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like,
you said it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so it's great to see that. Like that's how I deal with the stupidity and the hate and the dark. That's how I deal with it.
What type of comments or pushback, if any, are you getting from your non-Jewish friends?
So I was brought up religious. I was always in like a very religious circle.
Okay.
So I don't have that many non-Jewish friends in general. Like I just never was brought up there. I went to a religious camp. I went to Jewish school. Always brought up that way. Any interactions that I do have, they've always been more on the pro-Israel side. That's just the situations that I've been in. So those are the people that I surround myself with. So I haven't had thank God, any bad pushback or people that don't talk to me anymore, because I was brought up in the religious community, and we're all like in the same boat.
In the same circle.
So
that's really nice, actually.
Yeah.
So you didn't go through the whole like I had to lose 1,000 friends because I put out this content. Yeah.
So I went to like there was we were by the same event in New York City.
Yeah.
So by that event, a lot of people like they were saying like, yeah, you gave up so much, you know, you sacrificed your platform, and like, look, this person lost so many friends, and I'm standing there, I'm like, I didn't lose anything. In fact, I got everything from this. Like, you know, in a way, I'm thinking like, you know, like I didn't lose that, so I don't have that part of like, you know, I'm sacrificing my platform. Rather, my platform happened to be built through me speaking out for Israel and for the Jewish people. So in a way, it's like when someone's like how are you dealing with it? I'll be like, it's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for that.
What do you think the Jewish people can gain from October 7th, like spiritually? Like what type of insights do you think that we should gain from what happened?
The biggest thing is the Jewish people coming together, for sure. The Jewish people, we come together so well. During difficult times, we come together so quickly. The problem is that when times get good, that's when it fades away, and then we're back to square one, where there's a lot of issues and there's a lot of tension. So I think what we should take away, I think it's the same circle over and over again. There's so many times where, you know, we're in a good time for the Jewish people, and then some crazy thing happens, whether it's the Holocaust or the Spanish Inquisition or whatever it is, that kind of brings us back to this, you know, whole sense like, wow, we have to, like, we realize we appreciate each other so much, because without each other, we literally have no one else. We literally don't. And that's the whole state of Israel. Like, people are saying like all this fighting and killing us and anti-Semitism is just proving more why we need the state of Israel.
Right.
So I think what we can learn from October 7th is unity, is the importance of unity, and taking it past when times get good, and B'ezrat Hashem, where God willing, we'll have all the good times are coming. We'll get our hostages back, and there's going to be peace.
Amen.
But in that time, we have to remember that we only have each other. And even though times are good, we have to stick together and keep being together. I think that's what we should take from October 7th.
How do you think we can help the Jewish people to remember once we have those good times, and then we don't start fighting our brothers again? Like, what can we do to keep that memory, to make sure to be like, you guys, we just don't forget, just a year ago, we had October 7th. Like, let's stick together.
It's a good question. I feel like that's what we've been trying to do with the Holocaust.
Yeah.
The Holocaust, we have, everyone's remembering, and we're in school, we're always bringing it up. And it's difficult because over a certain amount of time, this human nature is we forget.
Yeah.
That's human nature. We forget about. For example, completely not the same level, but Florida. Yeah. Summertime in Florida is brutal.
Yeah.
Wintertime comes, but Florida's the best place on earth. I've lived there my whole life. You know what I mean? It's like, no, it's not. I almost died last summer, but we forget. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing is to really, I think everyone on a personal level has to tap in and be like, one second. The way I felt on October 7th, everyone has that feeling, like 9/11. I wasn't there for 9/11, but everyone has like, they know where they were on 9/11.
Yes.
October 7th is the same thing. Like, I know exactly where I was on October 7th. I'm sure you do also, when it was going down. So I think for us, we have to tap into that feeling when the times are good. Even now, where it's not as intense as it was on October 7th, to tap into that feeling, to remember that feeling, and be grateful that things are better when the time comes that it's better, and remembering and reminiscing with friends and with families and people that haven't experienced yet. And the later generations, they never experienced October 7th. It's gonna be like the Holocaust for them, like for us.
Yeah,
You know, I can't tap in the same way that my grandparents could tap in.
Right.
You know, But I think it's like everyone on a personal level has to really tap in because it's difficult.
What do you think the biggest misconception is about Israel?
There's so many.
I know.
So many. I don't.
Give me like the top two.
Okay, so first
top
one,
three,
the one that's trending. I mean, the genocide. Yes. The most ridiculous thing that I hear, probably the biggest thing, is for the past 75 years, Israel has been doing a genocide for 75 years straight. I'm like, do you not look at the population of the people they're doing a genocide on? Like, it makes the population in Gaza has increased by over 400% since 1948.
Wow.
400%. So if for the past 75 years, Israel's been attempting to do a genocide, we suck. Yeah. We're so bad. You know what I mean?
Yes. Not only do we suck at PR, but we suck at genocide.
We're the worst at it. We're so bad at it. And like, so that's a big one. Like the genocide thing. And that's so much things with Israel. It's like, there's so many. If you just look into it just a little deeper than the Instagram story that your friend posted, if you look a little deeper into like actual history and the numbers, like it's really just numbers. Israel, what we need to focus on is getting the numbers out there, which we are. We're trying to get numbers out there of like how many, we're doing a genocide, how many bombs were dropped, how many people died from the bombs, how many, all these numbers that are going on and dates and the numbers and the facts. When we get that out there, and anyone with a normal brain will look at the numbers and be like, oh, that's not even close to a genocide, or oh, there's no way this is an apartheid, or there's no way this. Because when you look at it, it's so blatantly obvious. But the other side is so good at lying. And anytime they get information that makes Israel look bad, they put it out right away.
Right away.
The second.
And we don't respond right away.
We don't respond right away. Why? Because we appreciate truth.
Yeah.
And we have to verify truth. And that takes time.
It takes a lot of time.
And that's why we're fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah. So you are a Gen Zer. You're 23, correct?
23, yeah.
23. Okay.
You did your research.
Yeah, I did. I'm a millennial. And so
I feel like this sounds like Pokemon characters. I'm a Gen Z.
Yes, that's true. So what do you see coming out of your generation with, you know, the they, the them, the pronouns, the leftists? I mean, I don't know I don't know your politics if you're on the left or the right, but just all of what you're seeing, and like, how do you feel about what's happening in your generation right now? And do you think your generation is going to rise up and be great, or do you think, you know, when all the old people are saying like this generation is just doomed?
So I know what the old people think.
Yeah.
Because everyone from other generations is like, what's wrong with your generation? They're crazy. I'm like, I'm not their mother. I'm not responsible for these people. You know what I mean? Yes. So it's like, they definitely, when you look at it just on a large scale, if you look at just like what's going on in the media and you look at that, it looks bad. It looks very bad. You see what's going on, but there's a silent majority. Okay. And I can speak because all my friends and everyone that I know and I surround myself with, they're good, normal, straight thinking people that have logic. The people that we see, the crazy, the they, thems, the Israel's doing genocide people, these are the loudest people on the side. And there's obviously they make a lot of noise and there are a lot of them, but it's not as bad as I think people think. Because there is a silent majority. And I think that these people, they make a lot of noise, but it's not the majority. Like, for example, Eurovision, just an example. Eurovision, Israel came in second place for a majority votes. Yes. As far as majority votes. That's a crazy stat.
Right.
That when you looked at social media, you think Israel, there's no way Israel's going to get anywhere near because everyone hates Israel. Yes. That was the impression we were getting. Suddenly, everyone has the right and the power to vote as a majority. Everyone who's being silent, the silent majority, puts in their vote. Israel comes in second place when it comes to majority vote. Yeah. That's a crazy stat.
That's a good point.
That's a big proof that there is a silent majority, and these Gen Zers and these crazy, the crazy people, the they, thems, the what's, the who's, the hows. Yeah. They're the loud ones, and that's what we see. But there are so many good, straight thinking people that use their brain and actually, value freedom and value life. Yeah. That are quiet because they don't need to be yelling. That's just not who they are.
As you know, the Orthodox Jewish community is very insular, and being very insular has protected the Jewish community. Given the campus protest, do you think Jewish students should go and study at Jewish private schools and universities, or what do you think the answer is to these protests that we're seeing on campuses, especially against Jewish students? and then them coming out saying, campus police and security can't protect Jewish students, so let's just send them home.
Right.
Is the answer to be insular and just study at our yeshivas, our universities, and not give our money to these other public universities? Or is the answer to fight to be in those schools?
So I didn't go to college.
Okay.
So I can't give you an answer.
You can give me what you think.
No, I'm kidding. So I didn't go to college. So I can't.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's the best decision.
This is why you're a smart kid.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't get
brainwashed. Yeah.
I didn't go to college, but this is what I think. From my very humble opinion, I don't know. First of all, I'm not going through what these Jewish kids are going through.
Right.
And I know it's intense. It's very intense. For example, even the part that we spoke about before, like, did I lose any friends from this? I didn't lose any friends because I'm in this bubble. I'm in this, so I'm not going through what a lot of people are going through, which is very, very intense. And I can't imagine it because it's very, very intense. So for those kids that are in those college schools, I think it's so important that they stay there in the sense of by taking the Jewish people out and be like, okay, guys, retreat. Let's go to our own thing. You're letting them win in a sense. Suddenly what they did is actually being effective and they're being rewarded for it. And now the Jewish people or just the pro-Israel people or whatever, the like-minded people have no representation in the colleges.
Right.
And now it's completely just overrun and taken by these people. I think it's so important and it's hard. And again, I can't say because I don't go to college. I'll be like, yeah, no, stay there. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're doing great. I can't do that. But I think it's so important that kids that they stay there and the Jewish people they stay in the colleges and they represent and they stand strong and you don't be quiet and you don't back down. That's my perspective. Is I'm very into not being quiet. I don't know. My personality is not. Yeah. No, you're right. I'm so sorry. I'm just no. My personality is like, you're an idiot. Okay, and this is why. So that's what I think. I think it's so important that we stay in these colleges and we represent. Or even if you leave the college, go to the college campuses and put up, like, Rudy is incredible.
Yeah.
Go to these college
campuses. Shout out to Rudy Rothman.
Shout out to Rudy. Putting up these things with a sign that says, ask me a question. I was just in Gaza. I'm a soldier. Like, represent and not being shy, not being quiet and having conversation. I think that's so, so important.
I love what you're talking about. You're talking about Jewish pride. And as we know, most of the Jewish community in America is not religious. Yeah. Most of them are, I call them Jews in name only, or they are, maybe Reformed, maybe not even have a connection to their Judaism. But after October 7th, they were awakened. Why do you think October 7th awakened so many Jews who had no connection to their Jewish identity or Israel for that matter?
So, yeah, I've seen a lot of that. A lot of people that weren't religious or had any connection to Judaism suddenly are so proud of it. I think because when someone tries taking something away from you, you see its value. And I think a lot of people saw what happened on October 7th as like, wow, these people really want us gone. And if people are trying to kill us and murder us for being Jewish, what does it mean to be Jewish? And suddenly there's like this 1 second, like if someone's trying to take this away from me, obviously there's value to it or there's something to it. What is it? And people are looking into it, and a lot of people are looking into their Judaism, they're looking into the religion, they're looking to their connection to the land of Israel, looking to their connection to each other, brothers and sisters, like, and I think it's a big realization like, wow, this is beautiful and this is amazing. And Judaism is such a beautiful thing. It really is. It's an amazing thing. And Jews right off the bat, everyone says like Jews are so successful. A big thing in Jews being just successful in general is because we are literally the biggest family on planet Earth. Yeah. And there's an automatic connection when two Jews see each other in the street, whether you're in Arizona, whether you're in Alaska, doesn't matter where you are. Yeah. There's that connection.
Yeah, you're so right. I came from Israel and I landed in California and I was here for Pesach and then I had to go different places for Shabbat. Like, when I got to California, I stayed at like 5 different Jewish families that I didn't know. Then I got to Miami, and then the people from California are like, oh, go to this person's house. I stayed at like 3 different people's houses in Miami. Then I was like, oh, I'm looking for an apartment in Miami. And then, I reached out to my fellow Jew. Yeah, exactly.
That's how it is.
So I remember my friends calling me up, and then I had to go to DC, and even in New York. It's just like everywhere I go, I have a place to stay, and I do not know these people at all. And people are like, you just stay at random people's house? And I'm like, it's not random. Like, we're the Jewish family. Like, anywhere in the world where there's Jews, you have a place to eat, you have a place to sleep. Like, we are a family.
And I'm so proud of us for that. We're amazing. It's beautiful.
Like, I don't see that in any other culture that you could just be like, hi, I'm African. Can I sleep here? You know what I mean? Like,
right. It's like, get out of my house.
Like, and so you just show up and you're like, I'm a Jew. I need food. They're like, okay, come in, eat, sleep, do what you have to do.
Yeah, amazing.
Why do you think people hate the Jewish people?
So there's the answer of it's like the oldest hatred in the world. And God literally said like that the Jewish people will be hated until Mashiach comes. Like that is the reality. That's the religious perspective. Just that's what God said, and that's the situation. On a level of like trying to think about it logically. So people say it's jealousy. People say it's coming from, there's a resentment. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Logically, that's what I would think the answer is like, for example, the state of Israel, right? It only became valuable to the Palestinians who only gave themselves that identity recently. That like Palestine, the reason why suddenly they want Israel so badly is because we made it valuable. We made Israel this thriving country. It was nothing. It was literally wasteland. There was nothing going on. If you would go there pre-1948, if you go back in even the 1800s, you go there, it's wasteland for miles. Yeah. For miles of just wasteland. The Jewish people that were already living there, and then you had the Europeans that moved in to join their Jewish brothers. When they went there, they actually turned it into a valuable place. They turned wasteland into hospitals, into schools, and we turn all this beauty. And the second you add value to something, suddenly everyone's like, I want some of that. Right. Or I want that. Or why do you get to have it? Well, because we created it. That's why it's mine. That's why. But it's like, no, I also want some of that. And I think that a big part of that is when people see value to something, they want it. And Jews are very good at adding value. It's just what we do. And we're able to do that. Well, first, thank God we're very intelligent, but also we work together and we're a family and we're able to make things happen. So I think a big part of it is Jews adding value. We add value to a lot of things. And if the world would just look at it as a positive, and they would look at it as like, wow, I can now get, open heart surgery from my Jewish doctor and put into this and live. Yeah. Instead of like, why is it fair that he got to create the thing and like, oh, Jews want to control my heart now.
Jews want to control my heart.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's perspective. And I think the world needs to take a perspective of like, wow, look at what they're bringing to the table and all the good that we have to offer. Instead of being jealous and resenting it, look at it as like, look at what you have now. There's so much beauty and so much good that we add, and there's so much beauty and good that other people add as well. And I think Jewish people in general, we appreciate that. We appreciate what other people bring to the table, what other communities bring. And I think the world needs to have more of an appreciation of what we bring to the table because we bring so much good.
How do you think we can build bridges with non-Jewish communities? So my theory is that the Jewish community is so insular that people just don't know about the Jews.
That's so true.
Like they really don't, like they don't know about Judaism. They don't really know what we practice. They don't really know what we think. Like they quote off Talmud, which they can't read because I can't even read it and I'm Jewish. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like they cherry pick a few things, but they really don't know the inner workings of the community. And so my theory is that if we opened up a little bit and, not taught people Torah, but just taught them like what our culture is, where they could see it a little bit more, then there would be less, myths around who we are. Right. But what do you think we could do to kind of build more, community building, community bridging with other communities? Yeah.
So the Jews we're definitely, like I said, I don't even have that many non-Jewish friends. Right. Which is a crazy thing for some people listening to this, be like, what? That's crazy. How?
Yeah. Because you're like, I'm from New York. But I'm from 5 towns. 5 towns,
exactly. So the way it's very just we're in our own bubble, and there's pros and cons to it. The pros is that first of all, as far as being a religious Jew, it's very easy to hold on to that. There's kosher restaurants all over the place. It's very easy for me to practice Judaism when I'm living in an area that caters to it. You know? So that's a pro. A con to that is someone from an outside perspective, and I could put myself in someone else's shoes coming to, let's say, the 5 towns as a non-Jew. Yeah. Right? You come to the 5 towns, let's say you come to the 5 towns as a non-Jew on Shabbos, right? You go there, everyone's in shul, everyone's walking around, everyone's dressed up. You go there, you have no idea what's going on. Yeah. You really feel like an outsider. And I could see that being very uncomfortable for people. And like, you don't know these people, they were all going like synagogue on shul. Like, what are they conspiring in there? You know, what are they doing?
We're building tunnels.
Yeah, that's where we make our secret meetings. And
yes, we're the Jewish Illuminati.
And you go there and I could see them coming there and being like, this is so weird. This is so shady. This is so like they're so not welcoming. And I can understand that. as Jews, like making a Kiddush Hashem is one of the biggest mitzvahs you can do. One of the biggest things you do is making a good representation for God. And that means for to a non-Jew is being hospitality and being hospitable. Hospitality is made up where? It's made it up now.
Yeah.
You can use it whenever you want. You can be, it's super important in Judaism to be respectful and kind and loving to everybody, because it's so important to make Kiddush Hashem and to be a good representation. So as a Jewish community, it's a difficult question. Like, how do we bridge? How do we bridge to other communities?
Yes.
It's because our religion is so... We're in our own bubble. The reality is we are in our own bubble.
And people don't understand, we don't proselytize. So we don't missionize to people. We're not like,
I have no idea what that word means.
That means...
I didn't go to college. You have to remember.
Let me dumb it down a little bit. Meaning we don't go out and ask people to come and convert like Christians or Muslims. Right. So there's like... I don't want to say no reason, but there's kind of no reason for you to like talk to other people. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not trying to get you to join my religion. So why else would I be in your community? You know what I mean? We're like not colonizing, even though people say we're colonizing.
Right. It's such a good point. Like we're so not in, like it's so
like the Arabs colonized, there's Islam all over the world. Yeah, the Christians colonized, there's Christianity all over the world. Like Judaism is not all over the world.
Not even close. Not even close. I mean, it seems like it is.
Yeah.
It seems like it is. It seems like there's Jews everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, we run the world, but we're not colonizing it.
But we don't colonize it. What do you mean?
You know what I mean?
Outsource. That's what we do. We're not running the whole thing.
That's a good one. I forgot my question.
It's fine. But by the way, that's a good point. There's so many Muslim countries. There's over 50 Muslim countries, over 30 Christian countries.
Yeah.
There's one Jewish state. One.
Yeah.
And not only that, if you look at like all the Muslim countries and you look at the Christian countries, if you look at the legitimacy of their connection to that land, it's almost at zero because it was colonized. It was genuinely colonized and taken over, and there was no actual connection. Yeah. It was taken over by war. Yeah. Israel, ironically, which is the Jewish state, the Jews have the strongest claim to the land, yet that is the #1 country that's under attack and being called a colonized country, a colonized state. Right. That's a crazy thing. Like we actually have we have more of a claim to the land than all these other countries surrounding us have a claim to their land. Yeah. Yet you're only pointing us out. Antisemitism. Yeah. Diagnosed.
Okay, why do you think people think that Zionism is synonymous with colonialism? Like, why do they think Zionism is colonialism?
From the lies, which they're very good at doing. I think that's the first thing. They're very good at lying, and that's what it is. They're just screaming it in the streets. It's like Zionism is colonialism. Zionism is this.
Imperialism.
Yeah, they're saying all their things, and when you lie often enough, eventually people will believe it. And because the strategy is to make Israel look as bad as possible. That's the strategy. And anything that they take to the max. So when you look at Israel and like Israel's a Jewish state. Okay, it's a Jewish state, which means it's not a Muslim state, it's not a Christian state. So there must be an apartheid there. They're turning it into the most extreme example that they could do. No, it's a Jewish state, just like America is literally is Christian. Yeah. America is literally Christian. In God we trust in the dollar bill. That didn't come from my rabbi. Yeah, yeah. Where did that come from? You know what I mean? Yes. There's a Christian connection there, and there's a connection. Obviously, Israel is the Jewish state. That doesn't mean that non-Jews can't live there. Of course, there's over 2 million Muslims living there. There's millions of Christians living there. There's Buddhists, anyone can live there.
And even when in ancient Israel, we allowed outsiders to live in the land. Yeah. Like it's never that we never let outsiders live in the land, amongst us. Yeah, yeah. I always like to ask people like, okay, if we're colonizers, where did we colonize from? Right. Like, did we colonize from Germany? And then now everyone in Israel is speaking German. Right. Like, did we colonize from like Poland? Like, where do we colonize from? Because like, in order for us to colonize, we have to colonize from another nation. Right. And then we have to put our language onto you and like all of these things. Yeah. It's like, no, we return back to our indigenous land and we speak our original language. Right. Like, yeah. I'm not getting
Jews, Judea.
Yeah, like
sounds a little similar. I'm just gonna say, like, there's a connection there.
Just a little bit. Right. Oh my goodness. Okay, I want to shift gears. Sure. Because I know all the ladies would be upset with me if I did not ask you about your dating life.
All right.
So who's sliding in your DMs?
A lot of 40-year-old mothers.
For you or for their daughter?
A little bit of both, but mainly for them. There's a lot of stuff going on there.
So are you turning down a lot of girls or what?
So I There's a lot going on.
Okay. Get into it. Don't hold back.
So I don't really engage on. It's an interesting thing because when you're on the social media world, like which I literally just joined, like meaning as like I don't know if I want to use the word influencer, but having like a personality on social media.
Yeah.
And you get all this attention. Like I wouldn't respond to like someone wants to set me up with somebody because first of all, I don't know who these people are.
Right.
And you don't know who wants to set you up because it's exciting or like the hype versus
you want them to like you for you.
It's just such a hard life.
Yeah.
There's so many women. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it.
You're like, I have such a good face. It's just hard to be.
Tough.
It's hard to be handsome. Okay, so you're not responding to the DMs. All right, ladies. So don't slide in his DMs. He's not responding. So how does?
Well, we're not gonna get into it. I'm kidding.
Cool. So what would get a response and what absolutely doesn't get a response? Just so the ladies have some tips.
No, so if I happen to have a connection, like be like
mutual friends,
or it's like somebody is like, oh, like someone that I know, right? Mutual friends, basically, and be like, I actually have a good idea for you, or I want you to meet this person, or sometimes they'll just be like, hey, I remember we went to this and this together, and then I'll be like, oh, cool, people that I know, I'll engage with.
Okay, and what's your type on a physical level?
So
blonde, brown. We don't really have that many blonde Jews, but
right. So
you know what I mean?
So.
Are you Sephardic or Ashkenaz?
I'm a big mix.
What do you mix with?
So I'm my dad's side. There's Ashkenaz.
Okay.
My mom's, which is I have like Italian blood there and Polish Italian blood. My dad's from England.
Okay.
Dad was born in England. His mother was born in the Bronx.
Okay.
But her father is Italian, hardcore Italian.
Okay.
I think that's
so you
why
guys are just like mafia.
Yeah, on that side.
Yeah, you guys are straight hood. Okay. Gangsters.
Gangsta.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then on my mother's side is more like old Jerusalem and
Okay.
Yeah,
so would you say your personality is more spicy and hot Sephardic or Ashkenaz and subdued and boring? I would say more Sephardic, but
no
you
pressure
tell me,
on answering. You made the options. I think I want one more than the other. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely more on the Sephardi side.
Okay.
You can tell from my videos.
Right.
And Ashkenaz won't be able to do what I do.
Okay.
There has to be some Sephardi blood.
Exactly.
There,
Do you have a preference, Ashkenazi girl or Sephardi girl?
I think I'm more attracted more towards the Sephardi.
Oh, you like a little brown skin.
I like darker skin. I like dark eyes. Like that. Yeah.
I'm a little too old for him, but he's flirting.
Yeah, I think that's more my type.
Okay, that's your type. Okay, so are you currently in a relationship?
No.
Oh, you're
I'm married.
single.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm single, and just going with the flow.
Are you mingling?
I'm mingling. Like, this is my perspective on it right now. I'm not looking to like.
Look at you. You're turning red. This is great. This is great.
So my perspective on it is like I'm not actively looking, but if I happen to meet somebody that I bump into, I'm like, wow, she's amazing, and like her dad's really rich. Like I'll get into it. You know, I'll jump right in. You know.
Yes, you have the whole stick of like get a job. Do you have a job? Do you have a job?
No, I'm kidding. Yeah,
okay. Yeah. What do you do outside of your comedy?
So I'm a real estate investor. Oh, so I'm Jewish.
Oh, you're very Jewish.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So ladies, do not slide in his DMs.
No, you can't. It's very flattering. You please do.
Oh, now he likes the attention, but he's not going to respond.
I might.
If you have mutual friends. So this is what you need to do. You need to reach out to me. You need to reach out to all his mutual friends, all the people he's hanging out with, and become their friend.
That's smart. Very good.
See, I'm giving the girls strategies.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm a strategist.
Yeah, I love that. That's smart.
And then that's how you're going to get him. Do you want to get married young?
I think growing up, I was always like when I'm 25.
Okay. Yeah, that was so 2 more years.
That was growing up, but it goes if I meet the right person, maybe sooner. If I don't, then later, you know?
Oh, okay. Don't let the celebrity get in your head. Don't let it like make you extend the time. You gotta have some kids.
Yeah.
Do you want a big family?
I'm thinking like originally it's like I want 2 kids. You know? Boy and a girl.
Ashkenaz.
Boy and a girl. And then I'm like 4. 4 solid. 4 solid. Okay. 4. Because I used to hate kids. Now I just don't like them. So it's like
it's coming down.
I'm starting to
hate, don't like,
we're getting there.
Maybe love.
Yeah, hopefully I love my kids.
I think you'll love your own kids. Okay, so you want 4 kids.
I think 4 kids. Yeah, on a serious note, I think I like 4 kids, but I'm just not in that mindset right now.
Okay, and then you will be married by 25.
I think so. This is like if it's like Build-A-Bear workshop where I could
that's what I'm doing. I'm like trying to get your resume going.
So I'm getting married at 25, having 4 kids.
Yeah. See, the Black and Jewish podcast also serves for Jews to meet and get married.
There you go.
This is my Kiddush Hashem.
This is the Jewish part of the Black and Jewish.
Exactly.
Nice.
All right. Will you rap for us before we go?
So I don't know why you think I'm a rapper. Because that one song?
No, because I seen you in New York with Kosha Deals and he like busted a beat and then you just like went and I was like, he can rap?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just sitting there and I was like, he can rap?
So I can't. I can try. I can try, but I need you can give me a beat though?
I can't do the beat, but maybe try. Can you do a beat in the background?
You won't hear into the thing.
You don't think so? We won't hear it?
How about I give you a beat and you give it a credit?
No. You want me to rap?
Yeah, go. What do you mean? This both ways.
I can't do it. Okay, I'll do the beat.
But I don't know how to rap. I literally don't know how to rap.
He's making this Black and Jewish podcast not black. Come on.
That's right.
Okay, so we'll end with you giving the Jewish people some encouragement.
Jewish people, do I look into the camera for this?
Yeah, can you look into the camera?
Okay,
straight right there.
I'm going to look into the camera.
What's your final message to the Jewish people?
The message to the Jewish people, on a serious note, is we have to take the togetherness that we got from October 7th, the unity, the love, and you feel now, I was just in Israel. I'm getting off topic. I'm going to look at you now.
No, it's fine.
But I was just in Israel. Every time I go to Israel, I never wanted to live in Israel. Meaning I love Israel, but I was very into wanted to get started to work. I wanted to first create my life and then move to Israel.
Yeah, you got to have the American dollar. I understand.
Exactly. That was always the mindset. This past trip that I did in Israel, I did a trip. The state of Israel brought me in with a few other people, and we did a full-on trip, and it was amazing. And that was the first time I left Israel. I want to live here.
Wow.
Which is crazy because this is when Israel's in war.
Yes.
So what country do you go to and they're at war, and it's now I want to. No one's going to Ukraine right now. But wow, I want to live here with my family.
Yeah, wow.
So, but the reason for that is, and I'll go back to the camera, is because how you doing? During tough times is when that's when the Jewish people really come together, and I think we need to take this togetherness that we're feeling now, and we have to bring it throughout all the years to come. And even when times get good, and God willing, it will get good, and we'll get our hostages back, and there's going to be peace, and things are going to be good. We have to keep that togetherness and that love and that beautiful thing that the Jewish people have. We have to keep that going. I think that's the main message.
Amazing. Tell people where they can follow you.
You can follow me on Instagram. It's Jacobs Yechiel. A lot of people think my name is Jacobs, but it's not.
Okay, spell that last part for people. Come on.
You spell it?
Yeah.
Yechiel.
Okay.
Yechiel.
Yechiel. I know. I can't do the chet. It's a chet, right?
It's a chet. Yeah, exactly. I can't. Yechiel. You call me Yechiel, whatever you feel.
Yechiel. I can do that.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, that works. Yechiel, you are not only funny, but you're extremely wise.
Thank you.
I don't think people know that part about you. So I'm really happy that we got to sit down and talk because you have such a well of wisdom in you to be so young. So I really appreciate that you came on today and you shared so much of your wisdom and comedy with my viewers and with me today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy that we got to do this.
Me too. All right, guys, that is a wrap on another episode of Black and Jewish. Like, comment, and share this episode. Comment below what you think the Jewish people can do to keep unity when we are in good times. I'll see you next week.